Ooh, it's going to be one of them ones, my boy. It is going to be one of them ones, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back. Another episode of No Free Game Podcast. I am your humble, gracious host, King Solomon. And to my right is not the Big Jew Show. Shout out to my boy, though. You know, some things came up, so he unfortunately could not be with us today. But I got my main motherfucking man, Big Shot Money, with me. Let's make some noise for my boy Shot Money stepping in from on there. Big Shot Jew.
Money, Big Shot Money.
What's going on, baby? What's going on?
Oh man,
some big shoes tonight, but
and
I got some big shoes of my own. So
listen, man. You know, again, we usually have good guests. We have people who do a lot of crazy things in their lives. But this one today, people, this one today is one of them ones. I can't even describe it to you yet. By the end of this pod, you're going to realize what I'm saying. It's one of them ones.
Right.
We got the legend fucking dairy, Chef motherfucking Colletti in the motherfucking building.
Chef
let's make some
what up?
Goddamn noise.
Muscles marinara.
Let's get some motherfucking
the man with the pen. Clams Casino, you know, all that good stuff. Everything marinara, bro.
Mike and the Magic
Word. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yo, thank you for having me. Word.
Salute, gentlemen.
Yo, cheers. Salute.
This is going to be a big episode.
Part 2 without the one.
This is going to be a big episode.
Part 2 without the one.
Word.
Listen, man, Chef Colletti. So, you know what? I usually don't even like to give the fans this much insight, but we had Chef with us one day.
Yeah.
I fucked it all up. I'll take
Legendary
it's my shit. It's my shit. I messed it all up.
It's all good. It's all good.
So I
we know who was coming back anyway, so
I
might as
had-
well just keep doing it.
I had to make a call to Sha. I said, Sha Money, beg Chef to come back one more time. The people need to hear the story of
Word.
Chef. The people need to know what he's got going on.
Word.
And luckily, he blessed us to come back. So
Nah,
again,
man, it was all peace and it was all love, man. We had a great show. Unfortunately, you know, shit happened, but you know, this is my home now, man.
Thank you, bro.
I got to be
Thank
a regular
you.
on this joint. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yo, that night, though.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Night,
We don't
man.
look in the past. We look in the future.
Word,
So
yeah,
again,
word
Chef,
up.
thank you for coming here
No, of
today.
course, man. Thank you for having me again, man. For real.
We're gonna have even better time this time
course,
through.
yeah.
So listen. First things first, right? A lot of people who watch us, I'm sure they don't cook. I'm sure they know nothing about fucking cooking, and I'm sure this.
Or they
be
think they can cook.
or they think they nice with the shit, but their grilled cheese ain't hitting it, right? So before we get into your accolades, before we
Word.
get into all the crazy shit we're gonna talk about today, what I want to first do is just have you introduce yourself. Quickly get the people who you are, what you are, and just give an insight what we're gonna do today. So who
Word, man.
is
Yeah, so Chef Colletti, man, I've been doing this for a long time. New Jersey legend. You know, been doing this a long time, probably like 25 years. I'm 40 now, man. I'm an old man now, but you know, just been running through, man. Opening up restaurants in Jersey and DC, Maryland, Virginia, fucking Dubai, Boston. You know, I do my thing, man. I've been doing it for a while, you know. So, you know, been doing all the, you know, Food Networks. I did all that stuff, but you know, I'm back in town, man. This is my hometown, Elizabeth. So it's good to be here, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for joining
of course,
us,
man.
So, yo, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the reason I said I don't know where to begin is because I think being a chef and the name chef is such
It gets thrown around a lot.
And even deeper than that, it is such a, like, when you really are a chef,
Yeah.
it is such a unique term, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, people say you could cook, people say you can do whatever, but like when you are a chef, whoever.
Yeah, nowadays everybody throws the word chef around and everybody's a chef.
But like,
and
you
this
know,
and that
you know, people throw it out and then you see the
Yeah.
food.
But it's kind of
Right.
like the DJ conversation we had.
Right,
Yeah.
it's so like people, everybody DJ, but they press buttons.
Of course,
right?
yeah,
So you can
yeah.
always see the true difference between like a real chef and a guy who learned this shit off
Everybody
TikTok.
be making fucking plates and selling them out of their house and
Right,
say
right,
they
right,
chefs.
right.
That really ain't it, man.
Everybody
You
that
know
stole
what I
their
mean?
grandmother's
It's a prestigious title and you know it gets thrown out a lot and you know I worked hard for a long time, you know,
Right.
and built my career from the bottom up.
Right.
And you know, we looked up to the chefs that you know that I worked for. You know what I mean? Like I worked Michelin stars, 4-star restaurants in the city, and you know, prestigious restaurants, and I looked up to these guys. These guys were my mentors, and they're really chefs. You know what I mean? So, when you open up a restaurant or you're running a restaurant and people start calling you chef and you're really putting shit together and it has a prestigious name behind it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just throwing the word around. You know what I mean? A chef is not a cook. Chef is not a line cook. Chef is not make salads at a restaurant or a good home cook. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the Food Network really, all these shows, they really, they made the word chef a little saturated. They saturated it. You know what I mean? You could be on a show that's the worst cook in America. And then,
Yeah, they do, and they do be having the shows.
and then after they get the little 5 minutes of shine and shit, and they be calling themselves chefs and getting money. I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Doing the TV thing is it's rough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it's a prestigious title, man, that gets thrown out a lot. But
it's not these motherfuckers at home with their micro cilantro.
Yeah, just throwing
and
shit on everything.
Just throwing it on top.
No, it's a prestigious title and shit, and I take pride in it. You know what I mean? And I'm a humble dude, and I'm not the type of dude that that really, a lot of people call me celebrity chef, or if they're using my title, if I'm doing consulting, and the celebrity chef word gets thrown out, but. I'm a humble dude, man. I cook good food, and I'm organized, and I know how to run kitchens and open up restaurants.
So I want to really dive into that, right? So can you kind of give us a glimpse into the rise from you just being just a normal guy on the block to you having and earning that title?
Yeah. So like I came from, my father, my grandparents came over here from Sicily, so I was part of a big Italian family, Sicilian family. Food was everything to us. You know what I mean? My grandfather grew everything that we ate. My grandmother cooked everything that we grew. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I grew up eating. You know what I mean? Especially in Elizabeth, a very urban city. My grandfather had, 4 gardens all over.
Crazy.
Yeah, just growing shit, man.
And for you who are watching, if you don't know much about Elizabeth, this is as city can get.
Yeah.
Like, you lucky to get a patch of grass.
It's concrete. Yeah.
You lucky to see a pure patch of grass out here.
So we grew up in like the Peterstown section. So, very Italian, very Sicilian, Calabrese. All my family came over. I walked around Elizabeth, and, if I was doing something bad, the next door neighbor was beating my ass. You know what I mean? Because everybody was family. You know what I mean?
Word.
But yeah, and I just grew up in it. I love food. I love eating. I'm a fat kid. You know what I mean? So, when it was time to come, like I wasn't good at school, so my mother was like, you got to do something. You know what I mean? My brother went to college. He was more like a book smart type of kid, good with maths, and went to college and all that. She was like, yo, you got to do something. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was in the streets. You know what I mean? Doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, let me try culinary school out. So I went to a little culinary school down in Asbury Park. It was part of like Brookdale Community College. I did that for 2 years. And my father had bagel stores. I grew up in pizzerias. My cousins had pizzerias. So I grew up in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was cool. I just loved enjoying being around the hustle and bustle, And then after culinary school, I had to get an internship. And, I did a quick stint at this busy restaurant in Bridgewater called Aqua. Brian Walter, my chef, he came from prestigious, L'Espinasse and Le Cirque, which was like top restaurants. So I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from that kitchen staff. It was crazy because that kitchen staff, it was all Mexicans. You know what I mean? And it was all a family, bro. It was crazy.
Yo, but just on a quick side note, and I always find it interesting, especially in those Italian restaurants. They be all Mexicans.
These guys,
as a customer, it's almost like throws you off. No, and I feel you, but as a customer, it kind of throws you off. It's like, this is a pure as Italian spot. It's all Mexicans here. But
hardworking motherfuckers, man. And it was crazy because the whole family worked in that restaurant. So it was like my sous chef was like the uncle. The cousin was the pasta cook. The brother-in-law was the saute cook. So I took on a big, these guys were crazy, bro. Like mafia out, bro. Black bandanas. Everybody looked exactly the same. They was badass. And they really broke me in the kitchen. I was like this little white boy kid coming into a busy ass restaurant. I didn't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? And they broke me in, man. Like, you know, they took me on as family, and I learned a lot. It was busy Italian restaurant, man. Like we used to do covers over there. And they broke me in. That's how I learned like Spanish in the kitchen and like kind of like that like family like orientated like kitchen, you know, family type thing. And then like I did a year there, and then I was like, my chef was like, you know, you got to go to the city. And then he lined me up with a job at Le Cirque, which was the, you know, #1 famous restaurant in the world at one point. And I started working there. I was a sous chef there. You know, got yelled at, got shit thrown at me, got fucking
like legit Hell's Kitchen type shit.
Yo, like that shit makes you, bro. Like makes you a good chef because like, you know, you think you're the shit working at this, like, but like you do something wrong and they catching you. You know what I mean? Like they putting you down for that shit. You know what I mean? So we did that. We opened that spot up. We didn't get the stars that we thought we were gonna get. And I met my business partner now, Spike Mendelson. Shout out to Spike. He's been my business partner for, you know, almost 17 years now. But we met over there, and we wasn't happy. You know what I mean? We was thinking like, you know, this is gonna be the best restaurant. You know what I mean? Prestigious, like beautiful restaurant. We got 2 stars, New York Times, shitty review. And he brought me in one day. He brought me in a banh mi sandwich. You know what a banh mi sandwich is?
Nah.
It's a Vietnamese like sandwich that has like lemongrass pork and pickled vegetables. And
See, that's why
I didn't really
that.
know what Vietnamese cuisine wasn't really popping at that time.
I don't even think that. Would you say Vietnamese?
Yeah,
is
Vietnamese
like,
is
a little more
super
popular?
popular. I mean,
Okay.
it's a little Thai is more.
Yeah,
more
I was
popular.
Like I've heard Thai, like a Chinese food, obviously, but like not necessarily Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah.
style.
So, yo, he brought that shit into me. He was like, "You ever have one of these?" I was like, "Nah," and that shit blew me away, bro. Like the flavors just like hit everything. You know, sweet, salty, umami, sour. And I was like, "Yo, what is this?" And he was like, "Yo,
Umami,
listen."
what's that?
He was like,
What's
"Yeah, that
ain't
shit
what
was
you
dope."
said. Umami.
Umami, yeah. Like it hit every like sense in my palate. I was like, "Damn, I never even had no shit like that." Because I was used to like cooking, you know, Cajun food. Like I started cooking Cajun food early. Obviously, it's Italian, Sicilian, but we was in French kitchens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Learning French cuisine. You know what I mean? That was our thing. And he was like, "Yo, listen, my chef that I went to Vietnam is opening up a restaurant downtown with Drew Niperon, who owns Nobu and Tribeca Grill and tons of restaurants."
Hold on, we name dropping now.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's get some class. Look at some, because I know y'all done heard of Nobu. I know you done heard of Nobu.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Just rapping about it.
Yeah, Jay-Z's favorite fucking spot, Nobu, man. He used to come into our restaurant and shit. So he was
Chef,
like, "Yo."
Chef, before you like leave the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we transitioning into like the latter stages. What was that, or do you remember that dish that you knew you had it? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody know like they feel like they a good cook. They feel like they make good food. What was that one thing that you did or you made it that you was like, yeah, I can do
Like
this.
I want to start
I can do
cooking,
this. Yeah, I can
or
be
like
a chef. Like I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Oh, so like, what's your
Sometimes-
specialty? I mean, like, what's your specialty
Because
dish?
like for me, I thought I could cook because big in my household was chicken parm. My grandmother,
Yeah, yeah.
like God rest her soul,
Oh,
she
interesting.
made a crazy chicken parm. Like so
Interesting.
one day, like I went to make it like myself, like just to test it out, see what it is, and it actually came out good. So, and the whole family said it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't me telling everybody like,
Yeah.
yo, this is good. Everybody was like, yo, they ain't know the difference. Basically, it's like, yo, grandma made this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it was me.
And that's
You know
what
I'm
an
saying?
honor, though. What
And
an
that-
honor.
You know what I'm
right?
saying? I ain't gotta say nothing, but I'm like, y'all think it's G-Ma, but that was me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but that's what put me on and let me know, like, I can actually do this
Yeah.
cooking thing. So, like, was it a dish or was there a particular
I don't know.
situation?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like, I kind of knew I always had it
Yeah.
in me, and I studied a lot, man, like a book nerd and shit. Like you go to my crib and shit,
yo,
I
it's
got
like a library.
fucking
for
library of
food,
cookbooks,
bro.
and when I'm not sleeping, I'm reading. If I'm not working, I'm reading cookbooks and just staying on top of that shit, watching videos and shit. But I really didn't develop in my style until we opened up like the Vietnamese spot.
Okay.
So we opened up a spot called My House with Drew Niperon, who owned Nobu and Tribeca Grill, and my chef Michael Bao. So that became the first time I became like a sous chef. So really putting dishes together and things like that. I had moved to Vietnam for a couple months to study
Wow,
the culture.
crazy.
That's you know what? Not to even cut you off. I just like that sounds crazy
Yeah.
to a American, right? Not even.
Yeah.
I don't want to say to an American, but like
My mother was like, "You're going where?"
right,
You
right,
know
what I
right.
mean?
Because like
Exactly.
it's almost like you telling somebody I'm going to Russia
Right,
to learn how
right,
to cook.
right,
It's like,
right.
nigga, where you
Iraq,
going? You know, I'm like, yeah, like
Baghdad.
it's like you know, as an
About to
American,
go-
you're like, you know, if
going
you're not
to-
into you know, just geography of the world history. You all you know is Vietnam is the war.
And I really haven't been out. I was never out of the country. I mean, I went on vacation, you know, Puerto Rico and Mexico and shit like that. But like, that's a fucking third world country.
rude,
You know what I
right.
mean?
So how
Like,
was that for you? Like, how
yo, it
was your
the fucking
experience in
greatest
Vietnam?
time of my life, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I went out there for 6 months and really like just cooked through Vietnam. I traveled to like Cambodia,
dope.
to
That's
Thailand, but Vietnam and Malaysia. But like Vietnam had my heart, man. And I just like the people were amazing out there. The culture, the food, it blew me away. You know what I mean? Like really blew me away. Like, and when I came back, I booked another trip to go back out. You know what I mean? Yeah. The women were nice out there. You know what I mean? Like it was good. But when we had that restaurant, man, like that's when I started to come into myself and really explore with ingredients. Like you know, this restaurant was down in Tribeca, so every day I was in Chinatown. I was at the markets, Union Square markets, picking up shit I didn't even know what it was, trying to cook it, and really putting you know, cool, amazing dishes on the menu, and really became you know, cooking my style of cooking and really putting things on the menu.
Bro,
and
you special, bro.
And we
You
happened
special,
to
bro.
get an amazing New York Times review. We got 2.5 stars. It read like a 3-star. We should have got 3 stars. But for us, that was like, man, we just left like this prestigious restaurant in Le Cirque, you know, like presidents and everybody eat there. And we got a shitty review. And then we came, you know, a bunch of us came over and opened this cool ass Vietnamese restaurant and got like 2.5 stars. Should have read like a 3-star. Should have been a 3-star. And kind of blew up. And then we went on and opened up another small plate Vietnamese spot in Soho. So we was running 2 restaurants. You know what I mean? I was running back and forth to 2 restaurants. I was young, maybe like 22 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, man, young.
How did you, bro?
And were you the head chef at both places?
So I was like chef de cuisine, they call it. So like we had an executive chef who was the Vietnamese dude, Michael Bao.
Okay.
And then me, Spike, we were like chef de cuisine. So basically we was making the menu, we was scheduling, you know, running the kitchens, whatever we wanted to do, we was putting on the menu and shit. So
that's actually something I want to ask. So obviously, I'm not a fucking cook at all.
Yeah.
I don't even, you know, I'm terrible at this shit. But like, so what are the levels to chef? Because like, you know, you obviously you go to a normal restaurant, whatever, you know, the chef's in the back, right?
Yeah.
But you don't really know what that necessarily means. So like, what is the hierarchy?
so it's different
What
like brigades and shit. So it's like, you know, you have your dishwasher, your porters.
Okay.
Then you have like garde-manger. That's usually like where you have your prep cooks. Obviously, you have butchers and things like that. Fish butchers. It kind of depends like what type of restaurant you're at and like how high level it is.
Got it.
You know, some of these restaurants, you know, these Michelin stars, they have 60 fucking people in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Wow,
And
really?
it's a brigade,
Yeah,
man.
word.
Like it's
That
wild,
many people
yeah.
in the fucking
Like at Le Cirque, we had a whole prep staff downstairs. Then we had like a sous chef and like a junior sous chef for every station. So like meat station had a sous chef, junior sous chef, and cooks. Fish station had that. You know, garde-manger had that. So you usually start off like garde-manger. That's like salads, cold appetizers. That's where you really like start off after prep. You have tournants. Tournants are people that can work every station, and that's like the guy who gives everybody a day off in the kitchen. He can work every station.
Okay.
But then it gets to like, you know, line cooks. Then you got like junior sous chefs. You have sous chefs. You have chef de cuisine. And then you have your executive chef. Executive chef is, you know, who does usually menus.
Comes up with what you're cooking.
Comes up, he does expediting. He, you know, is doing all your food costing and all that stuff. Your chef de cuisine is the guy who's on the line and running your pass and running all your other like sous chefs.
Wow.
Sous chefs are glorified line cooks.
Gotcha.
Getting to that level of being an executive chef.
No.
And then line cooks are just line cooks, you have a pasta cook, you have a saute cook, you have a fry cook, you have a grill cook. But yeah, it's different, depending on how big your restaurant is depending on how big your brigade is. You know what I mean?
So you mentioned a couple times like the Michelin stars,
Yeah.
like the ratings, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what none of the fuck that shit means, right? Because like I go to a spot.
The shit just started. Yo, the Michelin guide is, Michelin tires, right?
I'm not-
Right, so like
listen,
that's so when I hear
So they-
Michelin stars,
so they-
that's
they-
the
I'm
first
not
thing
gonna lie. I
I
walk
think
into a restaurant, I judge it by two things: what it look like and what
Yeah.
it smell like.
of. Right.
That's
Right, so
that's
like
how
as
I
a
don't
someone
know
who just
nothing
eats
about
the
stars
food,
and all of that
exactly.
shit,
So
like,
like so
none of that.
can you just kind of dive into what the ratings actually mean or what they are?
So there's different, like Michelin star is like now the highest you can ever get, and there's not a lot of Michelin star, like Michelin rated restaurants,
Interesting.
and
What
it's
the fuck tires got to do with food?
yeah, it's like something that
Wow.
just got started.
This is
I don't really
craziness.
even know how it got started, but if you get Michelin star, or if you get a 3 Michelin, like yo, that restaurant is a fucking perfect.
Oh, I know it
Wow.
matters,
Yeah,
but
you know
I know
what I
it
mean?
matters.
So
but when did that
they're
become
looking-
synonymous? You know
So
what I
so
mean?
how
Like,
so like what is 3 the highest you can get?
3 Michelin stars like the highest, and there's not a lot of them in the world.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Gordon Ramsay has a bunch of Michelin stars restaurants. He has a lot of Michelin star restaurants. And there's a bunch of chefs: Daniel Boulud, Alain Ducasse. These guys, they are what we would call they're gods of the rest, like chefs. They're god chefs. You know what I mean? They're at a different level. You know what I mean? But now you have restaurants that you might go to an 8-seat ramen spot in New York that has Michelin stars because they do that thing perfectly. You know what I mean? So it depends. It's you might have a ramen spot that has a Michelin star, and then you might have a super fine dining restaurant that has 1, 2 Michelin stars. It differentiates. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But like the rating, the Michelin star rating, it's like they test for a lot of shit, man. Like they go around leaving fucking paper clips in the bathroom. They'll go check on it and make
How
sure
long
like they
it's-
take it away in like
how
13
long
seconds.
It's like
Yeah,
that.
it's wild. It's
it's
wild.
crazy,
It's wild.
crazy, bro.
But like us coming up, like in New York, the number one thing was Wednesday's New York Times. That was like hit or miss. Like that's what you strove for in New York City, was that fucking New York Times review. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the time, there was a guy, Frank Bruni. He was the rater. He was a tough motherfucker. You know what I mean? So like for us to get 2.5 stars with a great review, we were fucking super hyped, man. You know what I mean? We're
Right,
21,
right,
22 years old, man.
absolutely.
Especially at the age.
Especially,
I mean,
yeah, when
that's
we-
crazy.
Yeah, bro. It was wild to us. You
That's
know what I mean?
crazy. So I do know that you got a chance to cook for the president. And when we say the president, we mean
he's still our president.
we mean the president. Shout out to Beezy. Let's
Shout out to old
Let's get some class going from Mr.
Our
Obama,
president.
the only real president we recognize.
But
If you could just kind of give us an idea of like how that happened and like
Yeah.
what that experience meant to you, because like I'm sure that's got to be a life changer.
So after we did like the Vietnamese shit, we was kind of tired of New York, man. So me and Spike, my business partner, we kept super tight. His family was living. His sister worked on the Hill.
Okay.
And his family was always in the restaurant business, and they lived in DC. And this is when the burger craze was really popping back then. And we was burnt out, man. You know what I mean? The city life, opening restaurants
Take a
and
toll on you,
partying and
yeah,
and
That's
being-
a big part.
That's a big part of that. That
and just being
fatigue
in the
you was
scene
feeling.
for 10 years, man, it burns you out, man. You know what I mean? So he was like, his parents were like, we're opening up this spot. We have a great location right on Capitol Hill. You want to help us out with this thing? So they were coming up here. We were doing like taste testing and shit like that. And Spike, my partner, I filmed his video and he got onto Top Chef. You know, this is like season 4. This is when Top Chef was really fucking popping, bro.
Yeah, word.
That's
Crazy. This is like when
that's crazy.
Top Chef like first started off. I think he was on like season 3 or season 4. So it was like, yo, fuck it, man. We was like, yo, we got a U-Haul. He picked me up. I lived in Hell's Kitchen. He took my shit. We drove to Brooklyn, got his shit, and we just drove to DC. And we worked on
like that.
Yeah, just like that, man.
up
We were
and
just
left.
tired, man. It was like we did the city thing for a long time and fine dining and all that, and we were like, this kind of be cool to like do some burger stuff. Shake Shack was popping up and Five Guys was popping up. So it was
that's
good time.
easy for y'all. Like that's easy for y'all coming from the backgrounds that you got.
It's easy, but like,
burgers
yo,
is
that
like-
shit is, yo, that like fast casual shit, man. Like, and we was busy. So I'm gonna get to that. Like, so we opened up. So like Top Chef, we had this fast casual burger spot called Good Stuff Eatery, and we opened up. I think like 3 days after Top Chef 4 premiered, and Spike was like the guy on that show. You know, he was like that asshole guy. You know what I mean?
So
They hate to love him.
sorry,
type
not to even
shit.
cut your story off. Did he know like the camera time he was gonna get?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he already knew ahead of time.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
like,
okay.
yeah. Like we knew this shit was gonna be like popping. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we opened. So I brought my boy Big B down. So we all worked at the Vietnamese restaurant together. We went down there. Was like, fucking,
Shout out
we
Big
gonna-
B. That's
we
my
gonna-
dog.
We gonna
bro.
make the fucking illest burgers, bro. Like chef crafted burgers. You know what I mean? And we opened up, bro. This shit was so fucking big. It was the busiest restaurant still to this day that I ever worked at, bro.
A burger joint.
Burger joint, bro.
spot.
Lines out the door for 4 years straight, 5 years straight.
Wow. A burger place.
Burger spot, bro. We had a fucking office with a shower, and we used to tap each other out to go fucking take showers in the middle. Yo, we wouldn't leave the line, bro. Like we were doing like $26,000 a day on
And
fucking
burgers?
burgers, French fries, and milkshakes, bro. The shit just popped, bro. Like it hit like.
Billion served. What's
Like-
how that shit
like
go?
DC really-
McDonald's shit.
DC really didn't have a lot of like cool shit popping, especially like celebrity chef type shit. We was kind of like the first people there, you know what I mean? And we was right on Capitol Hill. The Top Chef shit was fucking popping. And it was crazy, bro. Crazy. So that year, I think the first year we opened, Obama got into office.
Crazy.
And I told you the story before, but I'm gonna tell it again.
Yeah, please.
Fucking inauguration weekend, bro. Crazy shit. We opened 24 hours a day because it was just mad people and shit. And Spike and his family went to the inauguration.
Fire. That's gotta be. That's such a
Yo, there was fucking
That's
millions
such a
of people,
crazy
bro.
Blessings, yo.
moment.
Yo, so I remember we was at the restaurant. It was kind of like slow and shit because everybody was at the inauguration watching that shit. Yo, Spike came running back after that shit, swung the door open. It was like, throw every burger and fry on right now, yo. And fucking, there was, yo, for fucking 3 days straight, a line out the door, bro. Crazy shit. But Obama used to come in. You know what I mean? He loved it because his girls were like younger. And he fell in love. Him and Michelle Obama like fell in love with the concept. We did Michelle Obama was doing her I forget what it was called.
The initiative.
The initiative. Yeah, it was the initiative.
Yo.
It was
Man.
we were part
The
of
No
the
Free Game
initiative.
podcast.
It was part of the initiative of getting healthier food into. So we would go to the White House and plant shit at the garden, and we was really tight with the White House chef Sam. I forget his name, Sam or whatever. But they just loved Good Stuff Eatery. You know what I mean? So then they was like, they invited us to the White House to do a luncheon.
Oh wow.
And we did a luncheon and we did burgers
Sorry.
and fries.
What was that like? Like going.
It was
into,
wild, bro.
Going into the White
Secret
House.
Service
Like-
niggas with the men in
It was
black
wild when they
suits
came in
and
because
shit.
yo, we had fucking Secret Service standing next to us
While y'all cooking and
while y'all cooking because
my
Oh, then make sure you're not poisoning.
make
it,
sure you
nothing
ain't
crazy.
fucking putting shit in there. You know what I mean?
right.
They had fucking snipers and shit up top. It was wild shit. But you go through all the hassle of they got to check your background and all that
Absolutely.
shit. But It was dope, man. We cooked in the mess hall kitchen the first time. We did burgers and fries and stuff from the menu. So we got to talking to the staff and everybody. It was like we're trained cooks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not for nothing though. That is like you guys have like that is a historic piece of your resume, my boy. Like
yeah, for sure.
That is like not a lot of people.
And like I don't talk
able to
about a lot
say
because
that.
I did a lot of shit and I forget about it. But that shit was
'Cause you can't, like literally the first black president. You know what I'm saying?
That
A
shit
lot
was
of people
dope.
can't flex that.
And I think
You know what I'm
even
saying?
deeper to that, and I'll let you finish your story, but even deeper to that, I think what's interesting is you were so good,
yeah.
and not even so good. You were likable. You not just you, but you and your team
Yeah.
were not only so good, but so likable
Right.
that the president
That's
say,
the-
"Yo,
It was a good
Speaks
vibe.
to his character as well.
Yo, it was
like,
such a good
yo,
vibe.
come
I
cook
mean.
for
and like
us at the White
and
House."
Yo, and the restaurant, like Good Stuff Eatery was different, man. Like it had a vibe. Like the music that we played, we was all on the line. We was like professional cooks, but now we're cooking hamburgers, like dope ass hamburgers for cheap.
Yeah.
We knew everybody that was coming in. Everybody knew who we were. Like it was a whole vibe. You know what I mean? Like you gotta see. Like I would love to bring fucking Spike and Big B and shit on
now look,
on the
King.
podcast because like that's family, man. And we just got this synergy that people love us, man. We're humble. We make great food. We're fucking cool.
Right.
We listen to fucking hip hop. We listen to rock and roll. We twisting around, cooking and shit. Like it was a vibe.
See, King, this is where you get to pop your collar.
Yeah.
Where the podcast get to flex.
Listen.
'Cause look, he
we are a
talked about-
humble podcast
The,
over
the
here, right?
initiative Michelle Obama was running, and we just yesterday shot a podcast with one of the people who was literally running
Yeah.
the program. You
Oh, that's
know
what's
what I
up.
mean? With the kids that get fit
Right,
and shape. This is
right.
what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Like this is what he's talking about, and this is how crazy and dope this podcast
Yeah.
is. 'Cause that was y'all gonna get that before y'all even get this.
Right.
You know what
No,
I mean?
it's wild.
It's crazy how like
Connected in a way that
Connected,
you didn't
yeah.
even know. You know what I mean? Like this
So
dude
then-
was
so-
literally
so-
a part of that initiative.
So then, we was talking to his chief of staff or whoever. We're like, we really cook. We're not just burger chefs. You know what I mean? And they had our background and shit. And they was like, come and do a dinner, and we did a Vietnamese dinner for them. They invited us back. We did a Vietnamese dinner, and it was
Cooking
fucking
got you to
mind-blowing
the president.
shit, you know what I
dog.
mean?
If you could,
Cooking on fucking White House plates and shit. Like
so-
plating on
Wait. So that
gold rim White House plates.
So that's what I want to
and
ask you
fly
about.
shit. You know what I mean?
What was, if you could, just as best as you can, just try and describe what it's like cooking in the White House and not just making the burgers, like for that dinner, what was it like just doing it?
Definitely like
in the
hard,
White House?
like it's definitely stressful.
Yeah.
I can't
pressure-
fucking
that
imagine.
pressure,
Definitely
man.
fucking stressful for
You're
sure.
like,
Pressure,
that's
bro.
crazy.
But no, I mean like it's stressful when you get when leading up to it. But once we're in the kitchen, man, that's our home.
That's your home,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
This
they had a
what you
beautiful
do.
kitchen. You know what I mean?
It's a
And
fucking
everybody
White
was
House kitchen, it better be beautiful.
and everybody was mad cool. Like it's actually like the White House chef,
was hating.
John Rettinger, actually left the White House and started working for us in DC for good
What?
stuff.
Praise. Look at
Wild
that.
shit.
Look
But
at
like yo,
that.
they brought us in like family. But like you just gotta see us in the kitchen, man. We're like we're fucking dope, man, and we cook good food and we're humble and we make shit taste good and look beautiful and we're organized and we're respectful. You know what I mean?
Y'all wasn't basketball players
Nah.
or football players winning a championship.
Nah, it was just like
America
you know,
cooking got them next to the president.
We
You
were
heard?
like honored to be there for us to get invited. So we was on our best behavior and we're gonna make this the best. We're cooking for the fucking president of the United States. We're gonna
Right.
make the flyest, most delicious shit.
Of
You
course,
know what I mean?
right. Obviously, you're gonna try to make it the best you can, but
But
Yeah, bro.
That's how
Like,
humble this man is, because if you meet him or you go to do business with him, I doubt he gonna lead with, I've cooked for the president before.
well, so what I honestly
I
what-
never lead. I never even
I don't
tell
even
that.
think we
in
ever
my-
used
in
that
my-
ever,
my story
like-
as well.
what I find interesting is, and you mentioned the pressure part of it, right? And whether you're an athlete, whether you're working at just a regular 9-to-5 job, whether you're a chef, whatever the case is, obviously we all feel pressures. And I think what's really the most interesting part is that pressure has to feel crazy going into the moment, right? Because you're getting an opportunity that maybe 10 people, you know what I mean? Like people can count on their hands the amount of people that have that experience.
You just want everything to be perfect. You know what I mean?
The question I have.
So that's why you stress yourself out. Like, does this taste good? Is this gonna be dope? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what you've been doing forever.
So
right.
The question I have for you is, where do you think, not just you, but also you and your whole team, where do you think your confidence came from to be able to feel like you can go in there and not only do what you do, but like really shine in such a high pressure moment?
I think because like working in New York City and at like, I've cooked for presidents before at Le Cirque and high end celebrities, and I've cooked for everybody, bro. You know what I mean? But you're in a restaurant setting. You're not at the fucking White House,
right?
So you like working in the city and that stressfulness and the fact that everything needs to be perfect every day really prepares you.
Already ready for
Or really prepares you for things that you do outside. You know what I mean? So, and like all those like hardships of working in those restaurants and getting told you're a piece of shit and getting shit thrown at you and like disrespected makes you a better cook because you won't do it wrong. Because when I know I did something wrong, I got called out for it. You know what I mean? So it makes you a better and more focused and tighter chef. You know what I mean? So when it comes time to do these things, like now, like I do an event and shit, and I'm like, this shit is easy, man. You know what I mean?
You should have no pressure never. Because these niggas ain't depend on me. Like,
you ain't the president. I don't care about
let's
you.
get the clocks going, because ain't no way you feeling any more
now
pressure
this shit is
after that.
easy,
now
bro.
you can go for fucking the
This
king
shit
of
is
England.
easy, bro.
And that shit's easy money,
shit
you know what I
is
mean?
No, but not for nothing, it sounds like the word composure.
Yeah.
That composure comes from that everyday discipline you display already.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That's that
course.
you already, like you're saying, you already keep it all tight.
Yeah.
You already cooking every day as if it was the president.
Of course.
So when you finally in front of him.
That's the way you always gotta be, man. And that's how I run my restaurants and how I want everything to run. And that's why I've had people that worked for me for, he's worked with me for, 14 years. I have cooks that work for me, since they came over here from Salvador and didn't speak English at 13 years old. I gave them a first job and they started off picking crabs and now they was running kitchens for me. You know what I mean? So like I have a rapport and I have a good, people like to work with me, for me, you know what I mean? And work with me because I build them up and I have respect for, and they become family, you know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Now, I'm a living testimony.
Word.
You know what I mean? I was a plug-in for them, you know what I'm saying, for about, I'd say 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Worked the grill, prep, did the salad station a little bit. By the time I left there, bro, when I finally decided to leave, the first job out of that kitchen was a sous chef.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, before that, I had not worked in a kitchen.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
The best thing for a chef and what we love to see is people working under us succeeding too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get your like you did something, you know what I mean?
Right,
you can open up all the restaurants in the world, but if you're a fucking asshole and people don't like working for you, that sucks, man.
People don't know how to differentiate that.
I want people that work under me to go on and open up restaurants and succeed for themselves.
Right.
And be like, Chef Colletti taught me how to fucking be a good chef. You know what I mean? And respect
he's
people.
He's gonna make sure you know. He's gonna make sure you know it's not gonna be this half-ass coddling.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you did it kind of right.
Yeah.
If it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
it's a legacy. You got to build I feel like I built a legacy. You know what I mean? And I'm very humble, and I don't like the accolades and all that shit. Even though I've done a lot, but like I'm very humble, and like I let my work speak for itself, and I let the people that worked for me speak for me also.
Oh, one of the highest praises I ever got in the kitchen was this man leaving.
Wow.
He left the service. Me and another, he's
like, yo. Hey, handle this shit.
Yeah, they got it. They got it.
And they bounced.
They got
one
it.
of the highest praises I ever received in a kitchen. Got it.
So
a word didn't come with it.
And we're going to talk more about your humble brags.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more. because we forgot to mention your time on the Iron Chef. So if you could, and I really, and I know, especially my lady.
This was around the same time. That time in my life was popping and shit.
So before I let you go, and especially for my lady, and especially for a lot of us who have wives and females in our lives, a lot of those ladies love the cooking shows.
Yeah,
whether it's on Food Network, like those. So not only can you tell us your experience doing Iron Chef, but can you just really kind of give us an idea of what that was like in real time?
Yo, it's crazy because I had major surgery on my neck and shit like a couple months before they told us we was gonna do Iron Chef. So I was like, yo, I cannot miss this shit. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, how did you even get onto the show?
They reached out to us. They reached out to us. Yeah. They reached out to us.
They heard y'all cook for the president.
This is like, it was around the same time and shit. Yeah, it was around the same time. So like, we was really popping in DC.
Right.
And we just was cooking fucking burgers. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
But they reached out to us and they was like, we want you guys to do Iron Chef. And I had major surgery on my neck that I thought I was gonna miss this shit. And like the only thing I ever wanted to do was Iron Chef. I was like, I don't give a fuck if I don't ever do another TV show or anything. Like I need to do Iron Chef. So I was like, yo, make sure that like I had the surgery, I fucking recouped, and I was like, yo, we doing this shit. So we did it was Battle Prosciutto versus Michael Simon. Michael Simon was a good friend of ours. We worked for him in New York City. All of his sous chefs were our best friends.
That's great. So you know everybody on the fucking show then.
Bro, it was fucking awesome.
Oh, it's like a pickup game. Like these the homies. We about to
Yo, that's what made a great fucking show because we was talking shit. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. And obviously,
I've been kicking your ass for years.
Yeah, it was dope.
And I think the cool part is, as a viewer, you don't know that, so you may even think it's like real tension, but it's even better for y'all because like that's my man's, and we're talking.
And I think that they lined us up with Michael Simon and
for that reason. Right.
And it was just super dope, man. It was like, it was a moment in my life, man, and it was like something that I grew up watching, from the Japanese ones, you know what I mean, on fucking Food Network, and it was an amazing thing, man. You know what I mean, and that was like top tier in my career, and it was great. We was talking shit. It was prosciutto, one of my favorite ingredients. And we lost to Simon by I think like 2 or 3 points. But it was all love, man. And it was, and we would like, and you could see the love if you watch the episode and shit. It was just a family, and like it was a lot of shit talking and fun shit talking, and like really going at each other, but like with respect for each other. And it was one of the highlights of my life, man. I was like, I wanted to do that before I died, and I did it. You know what I mean? And
let's get some
God willing, let's go.
And that's a legendary show, bro.
God willing,
Yo, Iron Chef is legendary, bro. Like legendary. Like that's the show of all shows if you're a chef. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I got to do that. It was dope. It was fucking really, really dope.
So let's get to some fun things.
Yeah.
We like to talk about some fun things.
Oh, yeah.
So as official chef as you can fucking get, right? I need you to talk to us little people. And when I mean little people, I mean a nigga like me who don't know nothing from nothing.
Cook.
Right? So, my first question to you, what is a dish that you feel like every male, or not, screw genres.
Yeah.
What is a dish you feel like everybody who even tries to cook, does cook, whatever, should be able to do?
Like having a repertoire?
Yeah. Like just as an automatic, like, hey, you should be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Meat sauce. He Italian, son.
So again, for those of you who do not know, my lovely wife, shout out to you, mama. She's Italian as fuck. Her family. So, coming from my background, which is Haitian, and meeting an Italian woman.
This is where you should be able to cook what you grew up with. So like you said, you Haitian, right?
Right.
like I'm sure your grandmother or your mother or somebody in your family made something that you fucking absolutely love. It's pickles and you know. I fuck with Haitian food. I fuck with Haitian food.
The John right?
I fuck with Haitian. I fuck with Haitian food. I fuck with Haitian food, bro. I fuck with that shit. But I'm saying like, yo, the number one thing you should always do is be with your. And not a lot of people like have this anymore because we're getting older. But like your grandparents, man, like learn everything that they know. You know what I mean? And like for me, it's like you should want to cook what you grew up eating. You know what I mean? That's your culture. That's what you grew up eating. That's what your flavor profiles are. That's what made you fall in love with food. So like it's not, you know, I cook everything, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like what is true to my heart, and I'm opening up a restaurant, basically cooking everything that I grew up eating and what my grandmother cooked. And it's that love, man. Food is love, and it's very easy if you put love into it. Food is and cooking is very easy. You get little basics and shit.
I don't know.
It is though.
So I'm gonna tell you why I don't know. So again, I'm talking from a person who has zero, absolutely no fuck. Like,
did you come from like did your family
get
like
yourself
cook
an air
growing up?
fryer?
Yeah. Oh, so my mother. So you know, you mentioned Haitian cuisine. So like, my mother was elite at making Jean.
Yeah.
You know, she can make her own pickles.
Yeah.
You know, she's for New Year she's making
what's that soup? What's the Haitian soup they eat the New Year's Eve?
Soup Jumu. There you go. I know it's gonna take a second. Soup Jumu. You know, she's elite at making just like certain dishes. She's elite.
And your
at.
mother's still alive?
Yes, she is.
Yo,
Bless her.
Yo, before she passes away, man, like learn those traditions, man. And I don't know if you have kids or not, but like it's super important to keep those traditions alive.
Baby girl on the way. Shout out to baby girl.
Oh, yo.
Shout out to baby
Man,
girl.
thank you, brother.
Shout out to
Thank you,
baby
thank
girl.
But yo, it's so fucking important to keep those traditions alive. I don't got no kids, but I have 2 beautiful nephews, and I keep those traditions alive that I grew up on with my nephews. You know what I mean? I just got my nephews tattooed on my neck and shit. Shout out Joseph and
like,
Nicholas.
One of the main
but
reasons
like,
I know how to cook, like you said,
you
like
need to.
My grandfather. Like,
yeah, man.
It's not my grandmother. She was the one I watched cooking all of the time. But the one who made me learn was my grandfather.
Yeah.
Because when my grandmother got mad, she ain't want to cook.
But yo, it's so important, man, to like learn those traditions and carrying them on, man. Because it's fallen. It's nowadays like. It's fallen to the side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like all those beautiful things that your grandparents and your mother and your father cooked are disappearing.
Right.
Because cooking is one of those.
Yeah, and it's the best shit
you know
to eat is home
cooked food,
fucking traditional fucking food. Bro.
Always.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, like that's and that'll carry on generation to generation. You know what I mean? Like,
see, we got into.
And everybody's just too busy in the life, but yo, you gotta fucking be with your.
But see, that's the thing. Everybody's so
I
busy, they rather pay for it
exactly.
than actually.
I missed a lot of it because I was trying to build my career.
Build your career, yeah.
And in the restaurant business, you fucking work. Holidays, you working. Like
that's your popping.
I didn't see my family for a long time, but I always like went to my grandmother's house, and I always learned, and I always needed that tradition, and I learned the recipes. And before she died, like got all of her recipes. You know what I mean? Like, and I try to keep that on with my nephews and my brother. So like holidays and things like that. Like I'm at my brother's crib for a week and making cookies and showing them like, you know, cooking rabbit and all this shit that like we was around, you know what I mean?
So I want to quickly ask you, because everybody always talk about putting in the work, right? Putting in the work, whatever that is. can you briefly really talk about the work that it took for you to get to where you got to?
Oh,
Like
bro.
what were the hours? Where were those times? Because when people talk about their successes, they always talk about when they got there, right?
Bro,
A lot of times people don't really talk about those deep, dark days and et cetera.
The restaurant business is fucked up, and people that like, and I get asked a lot by kids that want to go and become chefs and shit like that. And I tell them it's not a fun business, man. It's not. It's not.
That's incredible to hear.
It's not. It's not the glitz and glory. Nowadays, it's a little bit different. But us coming up, nowadays people look at chefs because they're all over TV and things like that. Kind of looks like rock star-ish, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like, oh, I could become a chef and this, that. But motherfuckers don't know what it takes, bro. Like, I literally did nothing for fucking 15 years but work my ass off. 16 hours a day on my feet, working 2 or 3 jobs. It's not glamorous. Back in the day, we wasn't getting paid nothing. You know what I mean? Like I got paid shit. I didn't make money till maybe like 8 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But what this business has done, it's taken me all over the world. It's taken me to cook for presidents and I've sacrificed relationships, all that shit, man. And I love this business, and you got to work hard, and it's a lot of hours. It's a lot of stress. It's not glamorous. There's a lot of alcoholism and drug use and all that shit. And you just got to be strong-minded, man. But like honestly, like my feet hurt. You know what I mean? I wear fucking insoles in my shit. It's not a glamorous what everybody sees. It's not glamorous, and you'll see like most of the restaurants that open, they close in 2-3 years.
Yeah, that is a big thing I usually see. Like a place will be open for a while, and brand new, and then 5-6 years is
and
gone.
you got to become a businessman. Like I was a chef, man. Like
on numbers,
and opening up a restaurant is
all
it's,
numbers.
It's all numbers, and you gotta take a stand. We're just kitchen people. We're chefs, and we don't know anything about the business.
And so I want to ask you, what was that transition like for you? From going to strictly just, I'm the chef, I'm cooking, I'm doing the best I can, to, nah, I'm actually now a business owner.
Yeah.
I now not only own the restaurant, but I'm doing, like, what was, like, so I guess 2-part question. A, how did you learn it? And B, what was that process like for you from transitioning from strictly just a chef to being a
You're
business owner
always
/
learning, but I opened up my first restaurant, VB3, with a couple of partners, my cousins and things like that. And I was young and I still didn't understand the business, and I wanted to be a fucking chef. This was my first restaurant.
Right.
This is my shit. I invested money into this, and I had partners that we didn't see eye to eye and this and that. But you learn through things, and you learn, you know what I mean? You learn off of failures, you learn off of successes, and the more mature and the older you get, you start understanding business and what people want and things like that. And I opened up different entities, and you learn, you know what I mean? And it's got to click, you know what I mean? You're not just worrying about food and making shit look fancy.
Right.
There's food costs behind that and everything.
Yeah.
And that steak costs this much money when you get it in.
Right.
And you put it on a plate, and I have to charge this much. You know what I mean? So and that's the thing where I think culinary schools don't really teach you.
Yeah.
Is like food costing, and they teach you a little bit, but that's the biggest part of the business is the money behind it, and how much how to make a dish like profitable and make money off that. And I think they should teach that more to people coming up in the business and in the culinary school, because it's the number one important thing in business. You need
Right.
to make money.
Right.
You need to make money.
Absolutely.
Hey,
You need
this
to make money.
Niggas is gotta make some motherfucking
Gotta
money.
make
money.
Niggas gotta make some motherfucking money.
Or unless it's a hobby, right?
It's
What we said yesterday. It's
you
just a
talking
hobby.
Yeah,
about
and
it.
and there's like, you know, there's chefs that, and this is why a lot of like celebrity chefs fail. You know what I mean? Because you know they make money off their name, but when it comes down to it, they don't know how to run a business.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So
So I've
Before you
focused
transition, King,
I'm like a businessman now and chef second.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right. I mean, I feel like you
You know
always
that-
gotta.
Yeah.
to
yeah,
operate, you gotta
yeah,
be that
yeah.
businessman.
You gotta make money. If you're doing anything if you're opening up anything, if you're
You
consulting
just got
or
an
whatever,
expensive
like
hobby.
Yeah. It's either you're a professional or
Before
it's a
we
hobby.
transition, you like I love you, bro.
Mm.
You like, I want to say you like a brother, but
Yeah,
you
man.
more like an uncle.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Uncle
one
Mike.
of the things that fascinates me about you the most is I know who I'm sitting next to. So we do shit together. We go to bars,
Yeah.
we go to places, we go eat and stuff like that. And one of the most fascinating parts about you to me is I know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
I know what you know. I know what you can do. But you like one of the easiest persons to like please as far as a
Yeah.
palate goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we go to certain places and I'm like, I'm surprised Mike would even entertain the menu where we are.
I can see that.
You
Yeah,
get what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
of you reach a certain height, you reach a certain level of what you do. You like, I'm
I'm not bougie,
yeah,
man.
yo. So like, what keeps that? How do you keep that like?
Humble.
How do you stay so humble like in those senses? Because you can't expect everybody to be you. You can't expect all of that.
Because-
effort. So when you
because
go
I-
to a place and you sit down, and
One of
you
my
ask
favorite
for the
things to
menu
do is go out to eat.
Oh.
I love eating. I love trying new places. I wanna experience, because it's all you. Every time I go out to eat, I take something from that spot that like gets my fucking mind going. You know what I mean?
I guess my question is when you go in those places, right, and you get those menus, is it like I know what to order here and what not to order?
I'm
Is it
the
like
type
one
of dude. I
those
go out
type
to
of
eat. I order
mindsets?
everything on the fucking menu because I want to try everything.
Just wanna see your side.
Like
Don't matter.
going out
Okay.
to
But that's what, yo, he's
to
telling
eat.
the truth though. But that's
Going
amazing
out
to me.
to eat with me is a fucking scene, bro. Hanging out with me
Bro.
just in general is a fucking scene, bro. You're gonna have a legendary night.
Sometimes I sit back, I look at the place like, Mike, we about to eat they loaded potatoes.
Yeah, nah, not even
Look at
that.
this
Yo,
niggas,
but
do you know
like
that shit not fresh? We about to
but
eat
like,
this.
listen.
Hey.
a chef loves going out because they don't have to fucking cook.
Let's get the clap, man. Let's get some.
And I get a lot, like if I'm like fucking, if I'm hanging out or if I'm, you know, going out with a chick or dating a chick, they're always like, oh, what am I gonna cook for a chef? Motherfucker, you can make me a fucking a grilled cheese and a peanut butter and jelly and I'll be fucking happy, man. You know what I mean?
I ain't gotta make that
Yeah,
shit.
as long as I don't have to fucking cook on my fucking time off,
Yo, that's a
I'm
fact.
good.
Bro, that's a fact.
But to what you're saying and shit, like I know what it is to run a restaurant, to open up a restaurant. So like, yeah, I'm gonna have a bad experience or have a good experience, and I take that like, but like if if there's a bad experience, I'm gonna let them know then and there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not like one of those people that go out and look for, you know, I'm a chef. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go out to eat and the food's gonna be not good. You know what I mean? Or
you
have a bad experience.
You don't set yourself up for a bad
But in
experience.
those
Yeah, but
situations,
like,
I feel like I'm quicker to be like, I don't want that shit.
Yeah, I don't look at it like that, man. I look at it like, yo, these people open up a fucking restaurant. Do you know what it takes to open up a fucking restaurant?
Right. You have that appreciation for the work.
But
That's
I know
what's
that people are doing
fascinating.
shit wrong and they can need help, but
That's what's fascinating though, because to me, I get the shit I don't like it. I'm like, yo, I don't want that shit. I don't like that shit. He's like, yo, just some salt, pepper on that shit. You'll be all right.
it's just like, yo, like,
I'm like, you should be more angry than I am.
no,
motherfucker.
it's
But
just like,
he's
yo, they're trying their best, and like they usually don't have somebody in the kitchen or like a manager that's qualified to do
God.
and you could tell like a restaurant, you could tell when a restaurant has a good chef, that people that care. You could tell when their manager cares, or their front of house staff or bartender. You can tell. Like, you could tell. Yeah. I've opened so many restaurants and consulted at so many restaurants and ate at so many restaurants that I can tell by when I walk in what I'm gonna expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I usually don't go to places because I like to eat and I'll spend money. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, but I want good service. I want good drinks, and I want to have a good fucking time. Because like the best thing to me is there's nothing better to me than going out to eat with people that you love and friends, and like having drinks and eating good food and laughing, bro. That's like that's my life, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fucking beautiful. Because a mother.
Like,
God damn, that's fucking dope.
I've been giving you flowers this entire episode.
Like, I love, like, I've had a lot of hardships in my life, man, and like, and I just want to have a good time, man. I'm like, I'm happy right now. I'm happy, and I just want to eat good. I want to drink good. I want to laugh. I want to be around good people. You know what I mean?
And I've inherited some of that from you, bro. Like, you are one of the first positive. It's crazy because we spoke about this yesterday about mentors and senseis, people that you look up to and shit like that. And Mike, you are truly one of the first positive mentors I've had in my life. Like,
this is fucking beautiful. Hey, you don't get that no pregame podcast.
I'm like a fucking chef sensei, yo, for real,
I had a night one time, he just texted me like, yo, you gotta be peace, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta let a lot of that shit go because a lot of people can't fuck with you, and they get you to that point. And it's how he talks about certain things and the way he handles it. It's like a whole new light, opposed to what I got before.
We live in a time now where there's a lot of animosity and there's a lot of weird shit. You know what I mean?
A lot of anger and pain out here too.
Anger and pain and
unaddressed.
And I'm 40 years old, man. You know what I mean? I lost my father when I was 15. I lost my grandparents. I lost my mother to cancer a couple years ago.
Oh man.
And
condolences.
Yo, man, like, I'm truly happy. You know what I mean? I've been through a lot of shit. I love the people that I'm around. I love to spread positivity. I love it's hard work, man. You know what I mean? Like, I love hard work. You know what I mean? I always worked, kept my mind busy and got me through the shit. Restaurant business got me through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And I just need to be positive, man. Like, we live in a world where there's a lot of negativity, and you just got to be positive. And like he said, like mentor younger people coming up in this business, and that's what it's all about, man. You know what I mean? Like,
so before we go, I want to do a quick rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Let's go. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. I just want you to give me one answer. All right?
Let's do it.
What is your least favorite dish?
Least favorite dish. Fucking cheese pouring on everything on fucking social media and TikTok. I don't like disgusting shit.
Okay.
And there's a lot of disgusting shit that is popular now. I don't like
4 burgers on a bun with onions and just pour cheese on it.
That's just fucking nasty.
Burger. Fuck out of here.
Food is about balance. You know what I mean? It's about balance and creativity and but like, yo, this shit's got out of hand now, bro. So motherfuckers be pouring. I love fucking cheese. And I love cheese whiz on cheesesteaks and Philly, but they be overdoing that shit, bro. They be overdoing that shit.
So what is your favorite dish?
Ooh, fuck. It's hard. That's hard.
That's
hard.
What's your favorite cuisine?
I'm gonna have to go Italian, Sicilian, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I do love fucking Mexican, and I do love Vietnamese, Thai. I mean, like, I love a lot of food, but yeah, I gotta go Italian.
Quick, Jim, I think black people's favorite cuisine is Italian too.
Yo, dead ass.
Because I'm gonna be real with you. In my house, the go-to meal of the week, nigga, what I knew we was eating every
chicken
week
parm?
was that was
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti and meat sauce.
I mean, yeah,
and beef sauce on my mother.
pasta is like the most comforting
Yeah,
fucking
like
thing ever.
spaghetti and beef
Pizza,
sauce, probably
pizza,
buy some,
pasta. But
Texas toast.
I fuck with
Probably buy
tacos
some
all
Texas
day.
toast on the side.
I fucking love Mexican
I
food
know
though,
we gonna
man.
eat spaghetti this week.
Word.
What is the hardest dish you ever made?
Oh shit. Hardest dish I ever made. Probably a dish that we did at Le Cirque. Yo, there was so many steps to fucking. I'll tell you the worst dish that like I still like have in my mind. There was this truffle risotto we used to do. I can't eat truffles to this day because yo, the shit used to give me a headache because there was so much. So we used to do a risotto. It was truffle oil, truffle butter, mad truffles, and yo, the shit. I used to walk out of fucking work with a beating headache because truffles are mad.
Cause like funguses,
fucking,
right?
but it's fragrant, bro. Like it's like it's so fucking. It's so fragrant. Like we used to do a risotto dish for like $225. We used to sell a baked potato with truffles on it for $125.
Baked potatoes. I just was telling give a shout.
God.
Yo, shout out to baked potatoes.
Yo, truffle season. I used to hate truffle season because we had to cook this fucking white truffle risotto. And every time I smell a fucking truffle, I fucking gag, bro. I get a headache.
That's crazy. Okay, what is your least favorite cuisine?
Malaysian. I went to Malaysia and I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, the shit fucking grossed me out forever.
So, if you had one meal
Yeah,
left in your life,
yeah.
what would it be?
It would be. I would have to revive my grandmother from the dead, and it would be Sunday dinner. It would be her sauce.
Known as meatballs.
It would be her sauce with meatballs, sausage, potatoes. It would be pasta, veal cutlets, cardoons, rabbit. It would be our Sunday dinner that we had every Sunday.
That's fucking beautiful.
Hey, look, I want to share a memory one time, right?
Word.
We was working at Thanksgiving or whatever. This nigga Mike go come up to me, was like, "Yeah, son, taste that shit. I make mac and cheese better than black people." I was like, "Don't dis." I turned around and said, I turned around and said, "Don't disrespect my grandmother like that."
Nah, yo,
Don't
but
disrespect my
yo,
grandmother like that, Mike.
Nah.
And I walked out because that shit was good as hell. So I ain't gonna say shit else.
yo, you came over for Thanksgiving, right?
Hell yeah, yo.
My greens was popping, bro. My mac and cheese was popping. Yo, but I try to keep I try to keep those like traditions, man. You know what I mean? Like, so like Thanksgiving, I do a huge fucking Thanksgiving at my crib,
That's
and I invite all, and
That is the Italian.
and I don't even do it with my family. I do it at my spot with all my friends, bro.
Yeah, yo, and again, shout out to my wife, my lovely wife, and shout out
Yeah,
to my
shout out
fucking
to your
mother-in-law.
wife, yeah.
Yo, shout out to the
shout out to-
Italians, period.
So real quick, shout out to
bro.
my mother-in-law because god damn it, she cooks like it's a fucking soup kitchen on
Nah, bro, it's like
Thanksgiving.
yo,
It
you
is
cook-
pounds.
Yo,
of
this is
food,
how
yo.
I grew up, bro. Every day was like a feast for fucking 20 people.
They never
bro.
cook for the people that's there. They cook like 7
Bro,
other
but,
people.
Mike,
but yo,
the
back
niggas
in the
that they
day,
ain't gonna pull up,
back in the day, everybody was pulling up at
up,
all
bro, see,
times,
yeah.
bro.
Right.
And it was just family, bro. It was different back then, man. And like, I try to keep those traditions of like, yo, you could pull up to my Thanksgiving, bro. If you have nowhere to go, like, come to my Thanksgiving and like, yo, I got food for you. We chilling, bro. You know what I mean?
And we gonna have
Like,
a good time.
there's nothing better than cooking for people.
So,
Word.
second to last question.
Word.
I've asked every guest this.
Yeah.
If you have one single piece of advice that you can give to, it doesn't necessarily have to be to a up-and-coming chef, but just anybody who is really out there trying to achieve their dream. What is just one small piece of advice you would give anybody who's trying to do whatever it is that they're trying to do?
The one thing is you're gonna have hardships and you're gonna have up and downs, but if you have a dream, you could fucking fulfill your dream, man. Just keep working at it and stay positive. I've achieved everything that I ever wanted to because I set myself to it and I worked hard, and that's the one thing that nowadays people don't work hard, man. You have to work hard at it. You know what I mean? And nowadays it's easier than we was coming up to like achieve anything that you had to. But it's just staying focused and working towards that goal. Set yourself goals, man. You know what I mean? Like set yourself, like this is what you want to do. Set yourself goals and keep knocking them down, man. Because that's what I did growing up. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a chef at 22. I wanted to do this. And I worked at it. And I worked fucking endlessly and hard. And it's just, yo, don't be lazy. Work hard at it. Yo, set yourself some goals. You can do it, man. Anybody could do anything they want to do.
That's a fucking.
Anybody could do whatever the fuck they want to do, bro.
No, I'm pressing whatever. Yeah.
Anybody could do it. Yo, and don't make excuses, man. Yo, just get up every day and go get your goals, and you can achieve anything you want, bro.
Chef,
You could cook for the president. You could be fucking in Dubai opening up restaurants or doing whatever the fuck you want, bro.
The president is
You know what I mean?
Yo,
You know what I mean?
listen, man.
Like,
Chef Colletti,
Word.
thank you for joining us. Before you go, two things I want you to do. I know you have a new restaurant coming out, so please let the people know about the new restaurant, and also please let people know where they can find you. They can find your restaurants. They can find your work. Everything.
At Chef Colletti on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it is.
That shit
Instagram,
cool.
Chef Colletti, Colletti. Opening up a new restaurant called Bedu, probably in the summer. Jersey City. We got the Casa Lobo shit popping. We doing the we doing the brunch party on the 18th. I'm doing the menu and shit. I got check out my other business, Super Buds, all infused weed dinners that we do.
And don't worry, this podcast gonna do some real exclusive shit that day. We working on it.
I just landed a deal that I'm doing in Oradell, New Jersey. Dope ass fucking restaurant, gonna be fucking crazy. Just landed that deal today. That's popping, and then.
Mention the traveling catering service.
We do that catering shit. We do everything, bro. And one thing which I'm super excited about because I'm super into fashion, super into music. I'm about to produce this motherfucker's album and shit.
Oh yeah.
Shit gonna be popping, bro.
You see his face, right?
Oh yeah.
I do it all, bro. Art, fashion, fucking music. But yo, this guy's special dude. We about to come out with some fucking crazy fucking music. This guy's a genius. I'm curating the whole shit. Album covers, fashion, the merch, the fucking beats, all that shit, man. So doing that too, but yeah, man, I stay busy, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get some motherfucking claps. My nigga, Chef Colletti.
I'm the chef of everything.
Yo, man. Listen.
Always cooking, baby.
My brother, thank you again.
That's what we naming this episode.
Yeah.
Always cooking.
I truly
and this just side A, man. We about to do side B and shit next week,
just
man.
Just keep fucking watching. In the meantime, Big Jew not here, so I need you to do it. Sign off for the people.
Yo, this the No Free Game podcast. The least you could do is pay attention to us. We out.
Sure.